Hello. Today I want to discuss an interesting movie that is entitled Escape from Tomorrow. Now, this movie was made, I believe, sometime in the past the aughts into the what do we call it, the teens. I think it was it came out in, when I say it came out, it never really came out as a full-fledged release, but it made the circuit at some film festivals, and then was released to Netflix. Netflix at the time was still the deal where you get your three DVDs at a time, and when you send them back with free postage, and then you get the next thing that's on your queue. It was before the streaming was the thing. Remember those days? I remember those days. So that was when I first saw this movie, Escape from Tomorrow, and I remember it did make an impression on me at the time. What can I say about the movie itself? I want to add first, it made an impression on me at the time, and then later I became aware of it again, and I became aware that this movie has its haters. It has it has its share of people who just seem to despise it for one reason or another. I'm not totally sure what the ultimate reason is for these numerous just scathing, extremely critical, people who seem to take it personally, people who just felt personally affronted by this movie. So what's the movie about? It's about a family of four, a nuclear family, I guess you could call it. Seemingly a normal family, but of course things are brewing that are not so normal, not so healthy, not so good. The father of this family has just been told that he's gotten fired from his job, and he finds this news out when he's standing on the patio of the hotel room that he's staying in with his family, with his wife and with his son and daughter in Orlando, and of course they're spending the weekend at Disney World. So starts off on this ominous downer of a note, but the father decides not to share this information with the rest of his family, and just wants them to be able to enjoy their vacation. But as soon as they go to the park together, we start to see all kinds of problems, all kinds of dysfunction, all kinds of negative, bad vibes that are about with this family. I don't want to give away too much, because I actually do think this movie is worth seeing if you're the kind of person who doesn't mind being grossed out, and who doesn't mind horror movies that are unsettling. This movie, obviously, I think David Lynch is a definite influence here with whoever made this movie. I don't remember his name right now. He's come under a lot of fire, whoever this guy is, for whatever reason. But I'll get back to that a little bit later. So they go to the park, and just a sort of thumbnail sketch of the rest of the movie. The story is that the way that this film was made was via guerrilla filmmaking. They went in without asking permission, without saying that they were filming a feature-length movie. So technically they were going against the rules of Disney. They were flouting Disney with its its extreme. We all know the policies that Disney has with regard to intellectual property and so forth. But this film was made officially anyway, was made in guerrilla style without the Disney overlords knowing that it was being made. So we see the family go through go through the park, and in the Small World ride, the father has this horrific kind of maybe it's a hallucination, maybe it's not, maybe it's just him gaining insight into the grimness of everything. His wife, by the way, is just relentlessly bitchy. He can never do anything right. He didn't put the suntan lotion on in the right way. She scolds him all the time. Doesn't seem to have much respect for him. On the other hand, he shows himself to not be all that respectable in a lot of his behavior. Particularly, he's lusting after a couple of underage French girls. One of them wearing braces, and there's a part where he follows them around, and one gets the sense that perhaps this has gotten to be a sexless marriage, and this guy is looking for something, and he eventually does run into they split up. He and his daughter go off in one direction, and his wife and his son go off in another direction, and he eventually starts talking to this attractive but mysterious and creepy woman, who it turns out is a witch of some kind, and she has an amulet, and he gets mesmerized by it, and then wakes up in bed with her, with his arms, his wrists tied to the bedpost, and her on top, and it's just like, whoa, what am I didn't know I was here doing this. So she casts some kind of spell on him. That happens while his daughter and this woman's son are in the other room. Again, there's a lot of very creepy stuff going on, and it turns out that this woman was once a Disney princess, but killed a child by accident and became a witch. There are a lot of very surreal elements to this movie, and a lot of people who complain about it said, this doesn't make any sense. That would never happen in real life. Well, no, I mean, but this is a surreal, unsettling horror movie, and so you have to take it. You have to take it on those kinds of criteria. And again, a lot of people were just really bitchy. Are just really bitchy about this movie. And again, I want to come to that in a minute because I think it's interesting. So it goes on from there. They're actually in Walt Disney. I think it was partly filmed in Orlando and partly filmed in California. I guess is it Anaheim or Los Angeles where Disneyland is, but it's supposed to have all taken place. I mean, the setting, the ostensible setting of the movie is Disney World in Florida, and a lot of weird stuff happens. And when it's all over, we're not totally sure. It's one of those endings that we don't know what it means, right? Without giving too much away. There is some really horrific, gross kind of stuff very disturbing kind of stuff that takes place. There's one scene where the witch character abducts the daughter of the family and then dresses her up like a princess, but apparently she never meant any harm, and the girl was enjoying herself. The the other disturbing aspect of that scene is that she also dresses up her own son like a princess. So this is 2012, 2013, a little bit early for this, transgender children kind of craze, but we see these kind of dark trends, dark rituals, just all kinds of things that are really quite sinister in the midst of this theme park that's supposed to be, one of the happiest place on earth. And some of them take the form of just, they look at these figures of, these cute little creatures on the small ride, experience, and the creatures, turn into their faces become contorted and demonic looking and scary. And the two French girls keep on hanging around, and we get the impression they're supposed to eventually play some role in what ultimately goes down. So I think I've given somewhat of an indication of what the movie is about. Again, I don't want to give the ending away because I don't even really understand the ending. And if you see the ending yourself, you probably won't understand it necessarily either. Maybe it means this, maybe it means that happened. We don't know. There's some suggestion that the son has become taken over by some demonic force. At one point, we see his eyes turn totally black, and maybe that's a hallucination, maybe it isn't. But there are a couple of scenes. There are bookended scenes, really, where the son behaves in a way that suggests that he's an evil child. In the very first scene, when the father is finding out about that he got fired, he locks him out on the patio on purpose. And it seems like a mean little prank. But then there's another scene at the end where instead of helping him when he's in certain dire straits, again, his son just closes the door and leaves him behind, and basically leaves him for dead. So a lot going on with his family, a lot of suggestions. Is this the American family? Is this the American dream? Them being in the happiest place on earth, but there's this deep dark undercurrent of evil, and this suggestion of initiation into certain dark rituals and so forth. Also takes place partly at Epcot Center as well. Now, as far as the things that people say about this movie, the critical things that people say, the bitchy reviews that it has gotten, if you type in Escape from Tomorrow review, you're going to see like 7 or 8 or 9, boom, 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 boom reviews in a row, and they all hate it. Every single person hates it. They say things like that what do they say? That the characters aren't likable. That the dad's a lecherous oaf, and so forth. Yeah, I mean, he is a lecherous oaf, and the family is not likable, and all of that is true. That doesn't make the movie bad, though. Like these kinds of objections really don't make a lot of sense to me. It seems like people say these kinds of things when they're actually bothered or offended by something else that's cutting them deeper, that's getting under their skin a little bit more. And I think that for a lot of people who are fond of Disney, who are like adult Disney fans, I think a lot of them probably feel attacked by this movie, or feel that, and it's strange because in 2012, 2013 or so, Disney wasn't really this, it hadn't come under such fire as it has today, with apparently, trying to take a stand against a very unpopular stand, as it turns out, against the so-called anti-grooming bill in Florida. Shows how radically off the rails they've gone. And you watch any Disney movie, any Disney TV show over the course of the last 5 years or so. This is after they purchased Star Wars and everything. We definitely see an agenda afoot, that the typical woke agenda going on, in spades with Disney's films over the last, say, 5, 6, 7 years, since the time when this movie was made. Although those agendas were probably, uncoiling even at around the time that was contemporaneous with this movie, or before this movie was made, before the time this movie was set. So it seems like there are people who are just offended by the I don't know, offended on behalf of Disney, or offended that they would, or just think that it's tacky. The movie is just gross and tacky, and it is gross, and there are some scenes that you could call tacky, just because they're not really classy sort of scenes. But is the movie at times, I think the movie is generally well made. I'm not going to say it's a masterpiece or a classic or anything like that. It's obviously borrowing heavily from some other filmmakers. I mentioned Lynch, but there's no doubt some others. It's filmed in black and white, which is interesting. Not sure what the motivation was there, but there you go. And the thing is, I guess this movie was sort of at the very cusp of the trend in which people from Middle America started to wonder, is Disney on our side? Really, after all, are they going to continue to maintain this wholesome, squeaky clean image, while at the same time being anything but that, and in fact, having all of these extremely unwholesome agendas? Now, I want to make a quick connection here, coming to the very end of this video. This movie was made before Elsagate. Elsagate came around in 2017, I believe, 2016, 2017, 2018. Elsagate was when you suddenly had all of these videos on YouTube that used Disney characters, with mostly Elsa and Spider-Man. These were characters that were now Disney characters, because just about every character is owned by Disney. It's just this behemoth that's taken over. And these were just disgusting videos that had the and some of them were cartoons, also crudely made cartoons. And they had the appearance of being for kids, but there was all kinds of just disgusting, sexualized stuff, scatological stuff involving, fetish injections. Interestingly, yeah, prophetic, and a lot of other themes that were just very disturbing. And I remember saying at the time, and this gets me back to the whole question of under what auspices was this movie made in the first place. I remember thinking at the time, these Elsagate videos, Disney's got to know about these. They've got to. This is a company that guards their own merchandise and is very suit happy. But in this case, there were all of these videos and cartoons that were clearly damaging to the Disney brand, and they didn't do anything. They didn't take any legal action. And the same thing applies here with this movie. This movie was made, and afterwards Disney didn't respond at all. And some say that was just a tactical decision, because if they had responded, in some capacity that seemed heavy-handed, that would just give the movie more publicity. So they ignored it to just try to try to make the controversy go away, draw less attention to it. But the other possibility is, of course, that Disney knew all along that this movie was going to be made, or that they found out and then afterwards they didn't care, because it somehow helps to serve their purpose. Just like the Elsagate videos must have helped in some way to serve their darker purpose, as a corporation, as an entity, whatever. It's not, and there is a dark side to Disney without any doubt. I don't think anybody out there who's discerning would deny that anymore. Anyway, let me end on that note. Thanks for watching. My name's Andy Nowicki. Check out my work at altrightnovelist.com.